And we're live.
Hello, world, and welcome to the Arrogance Podcast. This is episode 4. I am one of your co hosts, the legendary, the great, the mythical, the almighty Coffee Man. And to my left or right or whatever other side of the world he's on, based on his geographical positioning, because we are only talking through the power of the internet, is the great, the massive, the strong, the black DJ.
That was completely racist. How would they know I was
hey, it works, okay? Just roll with it. We're rolling with the punches.
first,
This is
first you
life.
make fun of my skin tone, then you say I'm massive because I'm fat. You gave me nothing but props to yourself. And all you did was belittle me.
See, now when I said massive, the word I had in my head was actually mountainous. And I didn't mean that in a derogatory sense. I meant that in the sense of you are a massive man, a man full of mass. You are an immovable object. You know, you are strong. You're like Hodor, but not Hodor. You're the black Hodor.
You know what else they said about this? They said, you see what he looks like? He's a massive thing. A mass that can't be moved.
You know, you gotta take the good with the bad on this one, man. Just take the good with the bad. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so where do we start? Let's start with Carmen, because I'm loving Carmen. I want that something like, you know what? Like once we get this like full production thing going, I want that as like intro music. That's what I want to do. I want to find this woman, track her down, be like, hey, I want to use your song as intro music to my completely ridiculous podcast where me and my buddy talk about absolutely nothing for 2 hours and people actually watch it.
All right. Are you wanting to use the designer song she did, or you just want her to come up with something completely random and you want to use that?
No, I want the designer song. I love the beat and I love her melodicness on it, on that hook, man. Like I love the way she sounds on that hook. It's just so, oh my god. Oh yeah, it's great. So for anybody who don't know, this woman, her name's Carmen. Check her out. It's Karmin. She is a singer, probably songwriter. Check her out on I'm assuming youtube.com/Carmen. You can find her on iTunes as well. She did a cover of this song called Panda, which is originally performed by a new rap artist on the scene named Designer, who's been criticized for sounding like the rapper Future, which he does. They have such similar style to the point that people who don't know who he is and would hear the song would probably think it was Future. That's what my cousin even told me when he first heard the song. But yeah, like he's got this mumbling kind of rap style that, you know, just sounds awful and you don't really want to listen to. And this girl Carmen comes in and does this cover for it and I don't know, like on it says remix. So I'm not sure if it's a cover of a remix or she's considering it a remix because of how she covered it with like a completely different beat or whatever. But she's on there and she's singing and she's actually rapping and it's dope and you can understand the lyrics. And even though like some of them are still just as stupid as when he spit them himself, it sounds so much better with her doing it. And the parts that actually aren't as bad shine more because you can understand what the hell is being said to a degree. There's a part where she's like going really fast. You can't really understand it. But I mean, hell, that's kind of what happens when people rap at that tempo that she was going at. So, but no, like that should be you don't want that as the intro? No?
I'm not saying I wouldn't want it as intro. It was just I know, but knowing deep inside your mind, the designer is doing the intro. Once you realize that, no matter if she did it, you know who came up with it.
Hey, you know what? Um, I don't care. It is what it is. Like I said, some of the lyrics aren't bad. Some of them just aren't
Good.
good. But there was a couple of punchlines in there that did make sense, or not even necessarily punchlines, but there are parts in there that make sense. The part where they talking about where he goes, you know, we're gonna drill the bank, fuck it, we gonna kill the bank. You know what I'm saying? He goes from talking about, you know what I'm saying, robbing a bank to actually just being successful and making that money. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a turn of event in that situation. There's some light at the end of that particular tunnel. I don't know. You don't get that with most artists in that trap music style, or at least I don't, because I really don't listen to that kind of music. I think it's awful, but she made it sound good. She made it sound like something I would actually listen to. That's all I'm saying. And because of that, I have been listening to it. That was my wake up song this morning. I'm like, yeah, it's time to get out here and get this money. Yeah.
Yes. Working for the man.
You know what? Stop that. All right. Somebody left me hanging working for the man this morning. Had to work for the man all by myself. Single slave. Yeah.
Been doing that for about 2 weeks straight. 2 weeks, Clifton.
Yeah. Yeah. I come in there today and I'm like, where DJ at? Where DJ at? DJ ain't nowhere to be found. Oh man, I guess I gotta do this all by myself today. Man,
that's why you
guess we gonna get it done.
That's why you lead the team.
So anyway, let me tell you about what you missed last night. So I went to, because DJ didn't go. He was supposed to go dressed as Waffles or some bullshit he was talking about.
That's my plan. That was my plan.
With 2 bottles of syrup. And a
bottle of syrup.
Only this guy.
Better.
What?
With a portable, like, electronic station, something that gives out power, and plug up to that with waffle irons. And they were making waffles and sanding them out as I'm going down the line.
I'm done. you tripping. So anyway, and then Angel was like, you told him that we were gonna come dressed as Waffles. I'm like, I don't know about me. That was him talking about he was doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna convince you to dress as a giant bottle of syrup.
You dumb. I can't deal with you. I ain't coming as Angel Mama. What I look like? Do Uncle Ben's what's that?
Ain't your mama? We talking Miss Butterworks over here.
Ah, you stupid. I ain't going to dress as either one of them. So we go to this. It was a graduation, nice little graduation. By the way, shout out to anybody graduating class of 2016. I graduated 10 years ago, so you can just kind of imagine how old I am. Sad little me. Anyway. So we go to this graduation and it's all kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? We get there. First of all, let me tell you something that tripped me out. The first thing that tripped me out. We get there. Of course, they do the pledge, right? So they do the pledge to the American flag. Then they do the pledge to the Oklahoma flag. I had no clue because I've never done this before, because I've never been anywhere in Oklahoma in the few years that I've been here where we actually had to say the pledge. I had no clue there was like a completely different hand motion that you're supposed to do as a salute or whatever it is to this particular flag, this particular pledge of allegiance. Yeah, no, because in Texas, where I grew up, where I know the Texas pledge, you just still hold your hand over your heart.
That's what I assumed. That's what you said, different hand motion. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Oh no, so you don't know either? Yeah.
No.
So apparently you're supposed to hold your hand out like you're begging for change. I don't know. It's like seriously, you just got your hand out, palm up, like in front of you, like, hey, put the shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you'll owe me, yo. What's that?
So you have to do both hands out?
No, just one. Just the right one. Just the right one. So I don't know. That was weird. But it happened. Hell. And so then as we progress through the night, they introduced this guest speaker, right? So first when the ladies, I don't know who this woman was. She wasn't the principal, I assume. She was some administrator at the school. She's introducing the guest speaker for the event, right? So we're all sitting there. She's talking him up. And I'm like, man, this dude sound good. I'm like, let her announce President Obama. I'm gonna be shocked as hell that President Obama came to this little bitty ass charter school's graduation, but that would be dope, right? I'm like, it ain't gonna be Obama, but I'm just gonna sit here and hold my head up and be like, better it be Obama. It wasn't Obama, but it was some guy, I guess, who was born and raised in Oklahoma. I won't mention his name because that's just I'm think that would be a little bit rude. So he comes in and okay, apparently this guy's pretty successful. She was when she's introducing him, she's telling his accolades. He went to some school for technology and stuff, and very successful guy. Ended up creating a business that he sold for $2 billion. I think it was the price. It was in the billions though. He sold a business for billions that he, I guess, started. And he's a local guy, pretty much. He's from, I guess, the state of Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm pretty sure that's why he was here, because it's home. So obviously a pretty successful guy. I mean, anybody who can create a business and sell it for billions, I think that's a level of success that many people would be like, I'm good after this. I don't need to do nothing else if I don't have to, but I'm gonna keep going because that's who I am. That's my work ethic kind of thing. So anyway, he gets up and he starts talking, and it starts sounding good. He comes from this position where he's talking about how basically his message was not to be complacent. You can't have success if you are not striving to be the best that you can be. And if you get comfortable, he's saying you need to be uncomfortable. That's his pitch. Be uncomfortable, because if you get comfortable, you get complacent and you stop trying to progress. Essentially is, I guess, what the message of this whole thing was. Unfortunately, for all the knowledge and success he has, this dude obviously has not taken one speech class in his entire life, because it was one of the most boring humdrum speeches I have ever heard. He's like sitting there like listing off stuff like, I don't know, he got to this point where he was talking about technology and was talking about, God, I don't even know what, dude. Like, seriously, I don't know what he was talking about at some point because I stopped listening. Hell, even then Angel's mom later was like, what was he saying about duct tape? I'm like, what? Like, bro, I'm not kidding you. It was awful. Everybody, I looked around the room at a certain point, and he was going for like 30 minutes. I looked around the room, or the sanctuary of this church we were in after a while, and I noticed most people were not paying attention. Nobody was engaged with their eyes on him. It was like a few people were. They were probably just that bored. But most people were looking around or talking to each other like we were. And then at some point I don't know what I was doing. I started doing something on my phone. And then the next thing I know, Angel's mom decides, you know what? I'm gonna just grab this Bible here, open it up and start reading. That's how bad the speech was. She decided she wanted to read the Bible. During this graduation, it was that bad. I had to post it, and it's just, if you're gonna talk, be able to present your story, and well, don't don't sit here and like, if you're writing a speech, it needs to have something. It needs to have interest. Like facts are great, but your facts mean nothing if your facts are a bunch of like boardroom bullshit, essentially. Like you can't be like being a tech geek. I can talk to other tech geeks and they get excited because they know what I'm talking about. But if you're a tech geek and you're talking to your average Joe who couldn't give a crap about whether his phone has a 8 gigahertz or 7 gigahertz or whatever, however many gigahertz processor, you need to learn how to, adjust to your audience. Essentially, you need to learn how to write for the people that you're speaking for, which is not only just sound advice, common sense wise, from what I believe, it's something I actually learned in this class. I just not so long ago took. You got to write to your audience, understand who they are and what they would want to hear. What would you want to hear if you were them? And if you're a room full of parents watching their kids graduate, I guess he was really talking to the kids, but even the kids probably didn't want to hear what the hell he had to say. Like, it was just, it was awful. It was like sitting through nails on a chalkboard, essentially. But, yeah. So, I don't know. What'd you do yesterday, DJ?
Came home and laid down. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't do shit. Well, I did some graphic design work, played a little Skyrim. That's why I played a lot of Skyrim. Then I went to bed.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, if speaking of games, let's talk about games we've been playing, man. Let's talk about this Uncharted. Let's get this all out on the table. DJ,
what?
If you were to put a number 1 to 5 out of 1 to 5 Uncharted, what is your score for that game?
Depends on how I woke up that day. If I woke up all right, 4.5. If I didn't, a 4. If that's the lowest to get, that's a 4.
But 4 out of 5, right? Not 4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Don't get me wrong. I made a lot of crap about the game, but overall, the game is still a great game. Just going off the basics of did it deliver, how it delivered, all that other roundabout stuff you're going to talk about it. It was still a great game. The last, 15 to 30 minutes of it, nah.
Yeah, we talked.
Do I feel like they should have stopped before they made this game? Yes, we've talked about this. If they would have ended off Uncharted 3, fantastic way to end the trilogy. I would have had no complaints. I couldn't have complained. This game gives me something to complain about.
Okay. I don't know, man. Like, for me personally, and I guess this is just, I don't know. I guess because I'd never really got into the series the way most people did. Most people played it from game one and were like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is what we should be doing. This is a great game." I actually didn't get into Uncharted until Uncharted 3 came out, and here's how it happened. I accidentally got into this game because I pretty much had no intention. I don't know why. But when I finally went to go buy my PS3, when I was going to get one, Uncharted 3 was already out, or it had just came out, or whatever happened. I got a Uncharted 3 bundle. I think. Is that how it happened? I think I got an Uncharted 3 bundle that came with 1 and 2, or I got an Uncharted bundle that came with 1 and 2, and then I bought 3, but I don't think it's how it happened. I know that's what I did with God of War, but I don't know. So anyway, I ended up playing through. No, it came with Uncharted 3, and I bought 1 and 2 just so I could play it. Because I'm the type of person, if I'm playing, especially a narrative game like that, I gotta, I gotta play from the beginning. I can't like just jump into the middle of something like that. But so what the heck? Okay. So I get into this and I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. And so I started playing the other games in the series. Anyway, long story short, I don't even know what I was saying. Okay.
So, about nothing in it.
I'm sorry. I was looking for the picture and it threw me off. I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway, I don't know. I guess because I kind of got it all like I kind of binge played it all essentially, at least 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. I guess I don't connect with I connected with the story in a different way than somebody who maybe played 1 and then waited for 2 and then waited for 3. Because when you sit on a game like that and you talk about it over time and you learn these different things, it kind of gives you new perspective on it. So it molds your opinion of that game or that story, with whether it's a game or a novel or a movie or a TV show, whatever. Speaking of which, we're going to talk about other stuff that probably should have ended after it already ended and they shouldn't have kept going. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ending personally. I thought it was a nice personal touch to try to make this guy who's incredibly lucky and adventurous have a more like human feel.
Did you not feel that at the end of Drake 3? Did you not feel that human feel?
I mean, I did, but I don't know. I think that's what they were trying to establish in this one, was that you can be human and still be extraordinary at the same time. Like I don't know. It's a story that can connect for people who maybe, you know, who've had a dream and they were pursuing their dream and for some reason they stopped and they, you know, tried to live a normal life and then realize there's for some reason or other get pulled back into that particular, you know, whatever it was going on, and you know they're trying to come to grips with whether or not they should be doing it or not. And it's kind of one of those things. And in the end, he was just like, whatever, you know. It was fun. You know, he came to. It's the one game where they didn't really end up with anything. You know, they I mean, I guess they kind of got the spoilers. I guess they kind of got a couple coins off that ship through Sam's brother, but they didn't really come out with like a major find or a major credit to their name. They kind of just went to the side with this one. You know what I'm saying? They were just like, all right, we found this place. We spent all this time trying to get here. But in the end, like Nathan's motivation kind of wavered from time to time. It's like at times he's just interested in, he's like, he's doing this to save his brother. And he's battling with what his real motivation for being out here on this journey is. Because he's at one point he's doing it for his brother, at another point he's doing it for the thrill. So I don't know. It kind of shows some conflict there, and I don't know. I mean,
you know what? I would have been more impressed if they just killed him off in this one.
I could not see that happening at all. I couldn't imagine that. I
because you thought it was Red Raiders, but you didn't think they had the balls to do it.
I don't think
it would have took somebody like Rockstar to do it.
It would have took somebody like Telltale Games to do it, and they did it. But will they do it again?
Telltale Games kill off people because the stories they write about kill off people constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Dead, Game of Thrones, all they do is have fun. Like they just sit there in office and think, how many people can I get away with killing this season or this issue? How many people could I kill and still have the readers there with me? That's their main goal. Now, Naughty Dog is there to tell a story. That's what they do. Tell a good old story. Now, they got done telling that story in Uncharted 3. They came back with a fourth one, calling it a thief's end. We're just going to end his career like, oh yeah, he's been a thief. Now he's no. Just go ahead and give it the title, a thief's end. Truly make it feel that way. He dies. That would have given me, you know what? If he would have died, I would have given this thing a 10 on that principle alone.
I don't know. I'm not on that every hero needs to die train.
I'm not on the every hero needs to die train, but I'm saying you've made a hero in 3 games and then you brought him back again. Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
I understand you want to feel good and see him live his life. You still could have had him have, spoiler alert, a kid if you wanted to. But, at the end of this game, it felt like he should have died. You know what would have been great is they started the game off showing you he was about to die.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to die in the beginning.
Nah, bro. Nah. You saw what he was in, and you was just like, you know what, this is Drake. I bet Superman's just come flying through that wall at some point or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed it, if not just for the ability to play Crash Bandicoot again. The game was beautiful. It was incredibly beautiful, ridiculously a beautiful game. I mean, like, you see the screenshot here, and this is what the game actually freaking looks like. And I'm pretty sure this is not necessarily in-game footage itself. This is probably pre-rendered, but the game looks this freaking beautiful. It's so photorealistic at times that you just get soaked in, and it's almost like watching a movie. So I'd have to say that. But as far as review scores go, there's trouble with that and going around right now with a major outlet, and I don't remember who it was. I think it was Washington Post or somebody wrote an article about this game, called it a review, said they didn't want to give it a review score, but apparently, from what I've learned recently, with Metacritic, if you don't give a game a review score, you can tell Metacritic what you would have given it if you had given it a review score, which is the same thing as giving it a review score, just not on your particular platform. But I haven't read the article, but from what I hear, the guy is just basically going on about he just hates the Uncharted series in a whole, essentially. Was talking about how they should have stopped after 1. Things like that, and he's just bashing the series, not really critiquing the game on any of its own merit. So it's kind of weird how that all played out. And then people are up in arms and want Metacritic to remove the score from its Metacritic score, which this game is rated on Metacritic a 93, which is damn good. This score does bring it down quite a bit because he gave it basically a 4 out of 6. 4 out of 10. God, 6. He gave it a 4 out of 10 in regards to Metacritic. So it brought the score down somewhat, but it's this is still a game that's getting perfect scores in 90s all in 80s all the way around. I don't think that one thing is really going to hurt it so much. But honestly, if you're the type of person that bases whether or not you buy a game solely off of a particular review or a Metacritic score or anything like that, you're basing how you buy games in the wrong way anyway. Anybody who reviews a game, they have a job to review a game. Unfortunately, so many people have, and it's just, no matter what you do as a journalist, you have your own biases, particularly because of whether you like something or not. It's really hard to find somebody, especially when you have, even if you have a review staff, it's hard to find someone on staff who's just kind of on that game. It's I don't necessarily like it. I don't hate it. It's okay. And then like ask that person to play that game and review it. Because for one, you're throwing somebody who could care less into the middle of something they really don't want to do. And that could kind of bring it down a little bit. But then your only other two options is either have somebody who completely doesn't like it review it, or somebody who loves it review it. And both of those reviews are going to be biased, because typically if you like a game, some people, when they like a game, they let certain things slide that maybe some people wouldn't. You know, I've heard a lot of people complaining about how, you know, at times in the game, the characters themselves refer to something that they've done being repetitive, and how it's like that's kind of probably what the gamer is thinking, and that's what the you know, the creators are trying to get past. Is like, oh yeah, we understand that this is probably not as cool as you would think we would want it to be. So we're going to have them address it in the game, and that kind of really doesn't help the situation. I've heard people mention that, but I don't think that really impacted too many people's reviews. It's a thing that probably bugged them, but it's like, all right, I get it. Let's not do that anymore. That's kind of dumb, but and whatever. But essentially, anybody who's reviewing a game has their own opinion. The only way, and what really sucks, especially about like places like IGN, is when they go in and review a game, right? And they have this one person play through this game and review it, and that one person gives you their review. But that's IGN's review. That person is therefore speaking for IGN as a company, and that doesn't really translate well, you know? So I get a lot of people have been like posting about how games need to have these objective reviews where they don't necessarily have scores. It's just somebody going through, analyzing the game, giving analytical feedback. And I think that's one good way to do it, but it doesn't necessarily help the problem. The problem is you have to make your own judgments about whether or not what you like in a game is in a game, and whether or not you think it'll fit well to you. Unfortunately, the only real way to get that kind of idea, I think these days, if you're not playing like a demo or a beta of a game, is actually just to watch somebody else play it and see how much fun they have with it, and look and see what's going on. Or is there any other way like that could be done? Like, do you like, how would you
Doubt it.
prove like the way reviews are done?
Like I said, I highly doubt it, because even if you watch somebody play it, and let's say you're not even a gamer at all, at some point in time, you're still going to form a bias about it. But that'd be the only freshest way to do it. Just have somebody completely unknown to what's going on and have them go for it. It's probably the most unbiased way you get it. But you know, you may randomly hit somebody who just don't like video games.
Yeah, that could be possible too. So, but I don't know. Don't base whether you buy a game off of one review or whatever. Like, base it off of, especially not a review score. The score is not important. The score is their overall idea of the game, and it's just how they feel. It's how one person feels. It's not how you would feel if you were playing that game. I've seen plenty of bad reviews for games that I've actually liked, or mediocre reviews for games that I actually really loved and enjoyed, or great reviews for games that I completely loathed because of this mechanic or that mechanic or whatever you may have you. So, I mean, the best thing to do is just not to even pay attention to scores at all, and just kind of, you know, just take a game as it is. Yeah. Take anything as it is, whether it be games or movies or even TV shows. So let's talk about another property that's trying to live past what it already probably should have been the ending of its existence. DJ, have you ever heard of this show called Prison Break?
Yeah.
You ever watch Prison Break?
A while ago.
a while ago. Like how much of Prison Break did you actually watch?
What, the first season? That was about it.
The first season? Okay. Based off of what you remember, could you like do you have a decent opinion of what that series was and what it was about and how you felt about it?
Yeah, from the first season I did watch, it was pretty good season, and I just saw recently they're coming back with it again, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I was getting to. So I watched all four of the original seasons. Now, here's how it happened. I had a friend who kept telling me, who I had similar tastes in TV shows with. We both were big fans of Heroes. We both were big fans of like all these other different shows and movies and games and all this stuff. So he told me, man, let's watch the show. So I started watching it. The first season, great. The second season, kind of weird, still pretty great. The third season, it was like a ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It got like out of hand. And I imagine like the way I feel about it is how I imagine most people felt about Heroes by the time that was gone. Like all the people who went from loving it to completely hating it. Like I think it just made like some drastic turns that just did not work in its favor at all. It started to become this weird thing where there were these weird plot twists and cliffhangers, and it'd be like in an episode you'd see like 5 plot twists within a span of like 15 minutes. It's like, how do you do that? How? You're just confusing me. Like, so by the end of the third season, I'm like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. And my buddy was able to stomach through it. And he told me, dude, just get to the end. Trust me, I know it's rough. Just get to the end. It's all worth it. It kind of was. It kind of had a payout for it. But it was hard getting through the end of that because it just got so convoluted with like just the most ridiculous stuff ever. I can't even like recount half of it because it was I've had to banish that part of my brain from ever working so that I don't remember half the garbage I saw. But anyway, so they're rebooting this series, and behold, the entire beginning of the series is a whole nother plot twist because this dude Michael, who is getting broken out of prison now, as he was the brother breaking the other brother out of prison in the first season or series or whatever you want to call it. He's now being the one who needs to be broken out of prison. He's supposed to be dead. So he was supposed to be dead. He had like, okay, I'm sorry. This is a spoiler, but like by the end of season 4, this dude had like a brain tumor and was dead.
Just because you necessarily have a brain tumor doesn't mean he's dead.
No, he died. He died on the show. If I remember correctly, he actually died on the show. It was like, oh, that's the great ending to this all, is that he was so smart that his brain fried out and he died to save his brother and then his wife and then a bunch of random people. Yeah, it's cool. A bunch of random other people who like I don't even know who they are anymore. A bunch of weird cast people. You got T-Bag. T-Bag's back. T-Bag was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, this show is coming back on to Fox, and I'm like, I instantly hit my homeboy up, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't need to watch this. This looks like exactly what the first series was." And he was like, "It looks like they gave away all the good stuff in the trailer," which I'm pretty sure they did. But God, that show. The show made me want to punch myself in the face just for watching it. If I could review that series, or first half of the series, I don't even know what to call this anymore. Because if I could review that and put a score on that score would be, just because how crappy it got in the middle, it would be like a 2.5 out of 5. Like No, it'd be a 2 out of 5. It would. Like, it redeemed itself a little towards the end, but like by the middle of it, I was just like, I don't even. It started great. It really did. It started great. It ended well, but like after the first season, it was just kind of trying to drag on nothing. They had to continue to feed this like. I guess the proper metaphor was there was a horse that was dying, and they kept feeding it this medicine that wasn't going to help it survive, just prolong the inevitable, which was its death. And that's how I felt about the end of that show. So yeah, I don't know. That's something that should have ended. Apparently, it's not. I don't know who greenlit this or why, but I guess it's all part of this whole nostalgia wave of everything that's coming back. That people keep, we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and what was that other? There was something else they were about to reboot. You remember what it was?
What, Ghostbusters?
No, not Ghostbusters. It's something else. Oh my gosh! Voltron. I guess there's gonna be a Voltron live action thing. Somebody we work with told me about this. I'll tell you who it was off air. But yeah, they said something about I had my Voltron shirt that I got from my Loot Crate, and I was in the store and he saw me. He was like, "Oh, have you seen the steals for the new movie coming out?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they're coming out with a new Voltron movie, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, wow.
Like Power Rangers.
And they're doing Power Rangers. Oh man. So yeah, you got like all this stuff from the 80s and 90s that I watched growing up, like becoming like this mainstream media of today, and DC still can't get it right. So shame on them. Would you like to give thoughts on Civil War?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Which part of Civil War? Where do you want to start at?
I don't know because I haven't seen it, so I don't care.
Oh, dude, you don't want to talk about this. This conversation we feel nothing but spoilers at that point.
Yeah, I really don't care about that. Like at this point, I haven't even seen like the last 3 Iron Man movies or last 2 Captain America movies.
You ever seen an Iron Man movie? Period.
Did I even see 2? I know I saw 1. I don't know if I saw 2 or 3. I only watched the first Captain America, and that took me multiple tries of watching because I just kept falling asleep on it. I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, oh damn. So we are 3 weeks away from E3.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3.
E3?
E3.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 weeks.
Would you? What do you think? What is coming? What are your predictions for what we're going to see for E3 this year?
I don't know, because we may not get to see a lot, period, because different gaming companies have been dropping left and right. Where you got people like Nintendo who's like, we got a new system. That's next year. So all we can talk about this year, hopefully, is Zelda. They could pull a Disney and just make their own thing and be like, everybody else.
Oh my God, I forgot about Disney. Yeah. Rest in peace to Infinity. But yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, but out of what we know, okay, out of Sony and Microsoft, who we know will be there, who we know have press conferences lined up. Bethesda has another press conference lined up.
What the what? All the Bethesda can probably give right now is extra DLC. I'll be honest. I hope BioWare is there so I can hear more about Mass Effect.
I can't remember where I heard it was. I think I heard a confirmation on whether or not they were actually talking about. Well, I know I heard that was definitely not coming out till next year. That's what I heard.
Yeah, early next year. I know
Yeah.
when it's coming out.
I know Dishonored 2 is going to be there. I know what else? I'm assuming Crackdown 3 is going to be there. They've been like allowing people to play little pieces of that here and there, I guess. Or that might have been when they first announced it. They were showing off some of the multiplayer for that. Other than that, what's Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15, but I think Square Enix is probably just gonna do it themselves. I don't think they'll get much out of E3.
And I'm sure we're destined to hear more about the new Call of Duty and Battlefields coming out. The two games that are so opposite of each other on a historical timeline that it's ridiculous. You got the First World War and a war that ain't never happened yet and probably never will. And if the amount of dislikes on YouTube say anything, probably never won it at all. So, and see, man, and that's another thing. Like I got a buddy who was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go pre-order the next Call of Duty. I'm like, why? That game's garbage. She was like, just to play Modern Warfare. I'm like, dude, seriously, do not do that. Do not spend $80 to play freaking Modern Warfare Remastered. Do not. I don't care. Anybody out there listening, do not do that. Do not go out and give Activision $80 just so you can play a remastered version of an old ass game. Dude, seriously, I am sure at some point in the future, 3 months, 6 months down the line, they will allow that to be purchased separately if it takes that long. But, oh, God, that I was like, you're not even going to play freaking Infinite Warfare? He was like, probably not. Dude, no, don't. They should have, here's the issue. I don't think like people who make these video games like should even put like there should be like a separating thing of like you can either buy the campaign to a game or you can buy the multiplayer to a game or you can buy them both bundles together for, a slightly reduced price because honestly, I don't think they're not finding ways to make people happy. No, people don't want to spend $60 on a game that they're not going to play multiplayer for. And then other people don't want to pay $60 for a game with a crappy multiplayer that a crappy storyline that they're going to cry about. And then it's like if you're valuing the game on all its parts and people don't want certain parts, why shouldn't you split up those parts and sell them to people individually for different prices?
Because of the programming and the time it would take to do something as that would be phenomenal.
I don't think so. It could be as simple as like DLC, how DLC works. Like you sell.
Look who we're talking about here. Sorry to cut you off. We're talking about EA. EA is built to make money. That's all they care about. The bottom line is money. Because you got games like Titanfall, which are strictly about multiplayer, and you got games like The Witcher 3, which are strictly about single player, charging the same exact price as what they're charging.
Mm-hmm.
So all they would do is if you just wanted the campaign, you still gonna pay that $60. But now you just got a game with the campaign. Or you just want multiplayer, $60. But now you just got a game with just multiplayer. they ain't gonna cut their budget just to do, just one side or the other likes it more. No, they could care less about that.
I know from a business standpoint, it's a dumb thing. I understand that. I'm speaking for the consumer at this point. I rarely do this. I rarely tend to stand on the point of the consumer because I understand business and how sales work and how businesses need to make money. Yes, they need to make money at some point, whether it's a free-to-play game where you're buying microtransactions or a full price title where you're still buying microtransactions and DLC, or whether it's a game that you spend whatever on, and it there's no added anything to it. These people have to make money. The money covers programming, it covers wages, it covers salaries, and then it also covers advertising, all that stuff. Like all this money they get, it covers something. It's not coming out of nowhere. And games have to make money. The publishers have to make money. That's their job. The job as a publisher is to make money. It's not to develop a game. It's not to be your best friend. It's not to, make sure little Susie has the best entertainment experience they can with, this game without having to spend $15 extra on premium card packs so that she can have a equal chance going up against Billy Bob Thornton as she's playing Hearthstone or whatever. Like, those companies have to make money. However, at the same time, I think we're at a position where the way we can deliver video games has changed so radically that we could actually make innovations like that. Say, for instance, the whole digital game revolution that gamers are so quick to banish and hate. Like, with a digital game, with a game that you're not buying a disc for, that doesn't have to all be put in, as one, like maybe you could go through and buy certain chapters or certain parts of that game that you want, and they develop it, but you don't have to worry about spending $60 just to get a certain part of a game that you want. But at the same time,
in theory, that is a fantastic idea. And the only way it will come true, which goes back to the same problem again, is if they can find some way for them to still make the same amount of money they would have releasing it all together, releasing it separately like that.
I think honestly they could probably make more money because they would get people who don't want to buy the game up front because they don't want to spend the full price on the game because they only want a part of it, or maybe they can only afford a certain part of it and they can buy the rest over time. You can still essentially potentially make the same amount of money. It just would be broken up in a different pricing model. It's probably not the most ideal solution, and I'm probably not pitching it in the best way either, but it's an idea. I mean, look how like episodic games work, right?
Yeah, they work like that, but you got to remember it's an episodic game. It's built to be like that. But you can buy episode 3 if you want, just episode 3, but you don't know shit of what's happening without buying episode 1 and 2.
Exactly. So there could be parts of a game that you could go in and buy, essentially. Like I said, whether it be just the single player campaign or the multiplayer mode, and you could buy whichever one you want to buy. That company's developed it digitally. It's being if it's being distributed,
yeah, you might as well go ahead and
there's no loss for them.
If you built it like that, you might as well say every game is directed by Quentin Tarantino, because you're going to play middle first, you're going to play episode 2, but then jump to episode 5 by episode 4, but don't play it by episode 1, play that and play episode 4 last. No.
If you do that, then that's on you. If you do that, like, who cares? Like, they still gonna make their money is the point. Like, the point I'm trying to make is there's still a financial future for publishers in that method, but it's just
costs more to the consumer that way. I want you to look at it. If you bought the whole, using Minecraft story for example, I bought the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
even episodes that haven't been released yet. That cost me $25.
Mm-hmm.
Episode by episode, that is $40.
Mm-hmm.
That's $15 more I didn't have to spend, but now I'm spending because I want to buy it this way and that way. Yeah, that's now it's great for the people who are making it that way. Yeah, we're making a lot of money, but now people just like, dude, the consumer's like, I don't think I'd really want to spend that much money on something like that now.
But yeah, I mean, but like I said, that all comes down to personal choice. You have to decide whether or not you're going to be the person who you're going to go in and jump in head first and be like, I'm going to take the risk. I believe I would want to play and I would care about both modes of this game, and I'll spend a little extra up front, but I'll save that money on the back end, versus being somebody who doesn't know and you're trying to dip your toe in the water, and you got to pay per sip. Like either you pay per sip or you pay per the bottle. Like that's literally is how all marketing works anyway. It's no different. It's just a marketing model that's been done on many other things being brought to a digital platform. And like I said, I understand it might not be the best solution in this case, but it is a possibility. And if somebody were to execute it properly, I don't know. I think it would work. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. You know how people are changed when Microsoft tried to make their whole thing, trying to make it like Steam. They got ran over. They got ran over real quick.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. You know what else Microsoft could do though? They could do stuff like bringing family sharing back, or maybe even making it where you can trade your digital games. Huh? See, these are the kind of things we need to be pushing for. These are the kind of things we need to see going forward in gaming.
You have good ideas, then it comes back down to that basic problem with the idea. Let's see if we can trade games. And you know what I'm thinking on my end? How is that making me money?
Because you're keeping the consumers buying products.
You're just trading games. Necessarily, if you had a group of, let's say, 8 people, then every eighth game, someone would have to buy one. But you can just keep spinning them around. I've lost.
Well, no. I'm saying like trading back, like the license, like canceling out your license for the game in exchange for a small portion of what you paid for it. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Kind of like how you would trade games into GameStop and get store credit, doing the same thing, but with the digital store.
I would never trade games in the GameStop for store credit. Because you would bring in 2 new PS4s, a brand new Elite Xbox, 2 golden plated controllers, and they're going to offer you $6 in this tuna sandwich.
But no, but that's the point. People don't want to go to GameStop. People want to support the publishers and the developers and the console makers and purchase digitally straight through their digital storefront. And if I can do that and say there's a new game coming out and I've beat this one game, Black and Blue, I've gotten all the trophies or I've gotten all the achievements, I've done everything I can do in it. The multiplayer is dead because the community's moved on. And like, okay, I got this game sitting here. It's taking up space on my hard drive, and I want to play this new game that just came out. Well, of course, you could just delete it if it's just bothering your space. But if you're like, I'm done playing this, I've got the experience out of this, I know I won't want to play this again. Here, have this license, terminate this license for this game, and give me even I'm saying like 10-15%. So we're talking about $6 to $10. If you do that with 6 games, you have that you've beaten Black and Blue like that you don't want to play anymore, and this new game's come out, and you can go in now and trade all 6 of those games. You basically got the price of that game. And I said 6. That's stupid. That's dumb math. I'm sorry. It would be about 10 if it's 10%. Don't pay attention to me. But regardless how many ever games it is, like if you could trade those licenses back for profit on that storefront, for storefront cash to that digital store, that ecosystem, then that could keep that would keep people coming back to them, you know.
Then we come in the process. You said trading in your licenses would mean if you did get that profit on that particular company, when you then
Was that?
when you said they would have to give up their license for the game they're trading in for, preferably, trading in this game, they're giving up the license to it. But if you give up the license to that game, when your trading only be useful for that licensed group,
It would your trade would only be good for. Okay, what I'm saying, I'm lost.
what I'm saying is that let's say you did have, I don't know, Uncharted 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said, hey, I've beat this game. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna trade this game in. Now, could you only use that to buy things from Naughty Dog or PlayStation from that point? Is what I'm saying. The license.
I would say from PlayStation, not necessarily the particular developer, but you would get money back for on the PSN store. They would credit PSN credit to your account, to your PSN account. That's what I'm saying. And like I said, if it's something as small as 10-15%, right? I mean, like you could say over time, if a person buys like all these different games from that place, and then and then they trade them all in, and they, if you're getting only like 10-15% back, it's going to take so much for you to actually get like the full price of a game that whoever, the developer wouldn't eat that cost. The console maker would. And then basically it'd be like, well, if they're buying all the games digitally, they're making more profit anyway, because there's costs that aren't going into that. So they're making a bigger cut. So their profit is still going to increase. And if it takes you 10 games just to get a free one, they're not really losing that much money, because how many people are really going to buy, 30 games in 1 year and get 3 for free? It's not going to necessarily be a high margin, but if they could give you some sort of credit back towards games that you bought digitally, it would keep people buying more digital games. It would push digital sales and keep more people coming back to those particular stores, either whether it's the Xbox store or PSN.
I mean, when you talk about digital sales, if it's done like streamers already have a great thing with that, because during random bouts of the year, I kid you not, I bought Dragon Age brand new when it first came out. Big fan of BioWare, even though they kind of screw me over with every third game they do. I don't know why they keep doing it, but they bend me over and just go away, go to town. Either way, I get the game, and then about 6 months later, Steam is having a sell off, because just having a BioWare sale, everything 30% off.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes them already in that type of market where, we can just be in the publishers now. We don't have to go through any stores or anything. They can just wake up a random day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what boosts their sales. Not necessarily trade-ins and stuff like that. They can do extra stuff like that. So I think if you went the route of just doing streaming, you wouldn't even need to have the process of the whole trading part. That would be an extra bonus that people could like, but I doubt people would, actively use it.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's true too. I mean, I guess like you could do both, I mean, it would be your sales. You probably wouldn't have sales that would probably be as low, or that would be much fewer and far between. But I mean, that's always another possibility. But it's still in the same. Like I said, if you just want to like give up the license to a game just because you don't want to see it no more, I mean, you can do that. I mean, whatever. It's like, I don't need it, or you can keep it. It's up to you. But yeah, of course, the whole like Steam sale process would be good, and would help sales out as well. But part of that comes in, like there has to be something in place to protect the way those games sell, and that's profit. Steam can do that because of its profit, and if you're not profiting because people aren't paying straight to you and they're going through a middleman, or you're losing money on however you're not making as much profit as that, you can't really do as many deals like that. There's only so much cost, there's only so much you can eat as the console maker, because all you're making money on is software anyway. You're not making money on consoles, you're making money on software. You're losing money on consoles. So you have to have some way, you have to have something to incentivize people to buy digitally in order to make digital sales grow and increase profit, and hopefully see other things happen. Like, I would love to see the idea of, a game launches and like the week after they announced the game coming out, they announced the season pass as $50 or $60, because these companies are trying to make money and they just trying to squeeze every dollar they can out of it. And I'm not sure if that necessarily would go away. It probably wouldn't, but it would help out for some people. It would help some developers get rid of things like that if they were seeing more of a profit, if there wasn't necessarily a secondhand market that wasn't putting money back into their pockets, which is what GameStop is. It's a secondhand market that makes profit off of basically just taking something from somebody else.
Well, don't get me wrong, I do see your point of view where that would bring them more profit. And with that, let's say like, indie games, they could spend more money, or not indie games preferably, but because people still know decent sized title games, could spend more money back into the development and process of it instead of worrying about getting it out to these stores and spending money there. That's a bonus where, you might get even a better game out of it if people just bought it, digitally. But I have a console for a reason. I want that hard copy. I love the feel of that hard copy in my hand. Why? Because it's mine. They can't be like, oh, F you one day. This is mine. Unless they come into my house and physically take it from me. And trust me, I'm going to give them a fight. There's no way they can just, randomly one day wake and be like, F everybody.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway, so I think we've ranted and raved on for that long enough. In other news this week, Google is trying its hand at the social media market again, or social networking market again, with a new app soon to come. I guess the app's not active yet. It's just active as a website called Spaces, which is kind of like group chats, essentially. The article says it's something like Facebook's Messenger or WhatsApp, or its focus on chatting and its mobile friendly nature, or because of its mobile friendly nature. The app is available. Oh, it is available on iOS. Okay, so it's available, I guess. But anyway, so this would be Google's third attempt at a social network. And this is another place where somebody should probably have stopped already. Why did I open a whole new window? That was dumb. What window am I on now? Okay. So, darn it, I am doing all the wrong stuff today. All right. So this is, I guess, what the app looks like. And so you can search for things on Google or YouTube and basically post it into a group forum and share it with your space. See, quickly share to your space. Not my space, by the way, your space. And people can leave comments and reactions and blah 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 to it. I don't know. Like, I love Google to death. I do, but I don't know. I don't think they should still be. If they assume that Google Plus is already a failure, why are they trying this again? What can Google do differently to make itself a social network that would put it on par with the likes of Facebook and Twitter?
Not shit.
Okay, well, that's the answer there.
I'ma just be real. Unless, no offense here, unless you go on the Pornhub and with the virtual reality stuff, and she can physically come through the computer somehow, give me a blowjob. There is not a thing they can do more.
God darn it! How do we get back to VR rape already?
I didn't say rape. That's the point.
It was going there. I just threw it there before we got.
Was it?
Why take the long road, DJ? Why take the long road when we can instant transmission? Okay, let's get to the point. Also, I've decided we should no longer call it VR rape. We should just call it V rape. It makes more sense. Just cut the second R out. We don't need two R's right there. It makes it long-winded. It's more complex. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well. It's virtual rape. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the world needs another social network, and I think Google should focus on making its already existing platforms better.
Well, existing platform is already great. People just underuse it. I prefer Google Plus over Facebook.
True.
But there's already so many more people on Facebook, and the whole process of transitioning and learning how to do something new just doesn't appeal to people. Even though it probably wouldn't take them that long, it's just that instant gratification and laziness in there. I already know how to do Facebook. I'm good at it. I don't need to work on a whole nother social media network. And Instagram and Twitter, they're a whole nother social media network, but each one has their own little thing. Where Instagram is more about pictures and Twitter is just like little bits and pieces of people's life that somehow you feel yourself interested in and know about every single 5 or 6 minutes of your day. Whatever. They've already claimed. I don't think Google can do that. The niches have been claimed. Each one has been done. Google's thing is being a search engine. That's what it's just known for, being the best search engine.
I mean, how many times have you gone to a website and you look and like in their search bar, you click and it's like powered by Google search? I'm like, really? How? I don't know. Is that like an open API you can download and be like, hey, our search is as efficient as Google is if you search in our website. Anyway, I'm not sure why they chose to go with this particular image here either. The screenshot of IGN and the Adventures of Supergirl. But I don't know. I'll take a look into it. I'm pretty sure I'll be underwhelmed. I don't know. I'm tired of new social networks every time I turn around. Between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Digit, Reddit. I've seen it, heard it all before. It's
List.
Oh my God. Have you tried List yet?
Yeah, it's still on my phone, man.
Is it really? I still haven't tried it. I forgot all about that. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I forgot about that one. How's it working for you so far? Have you made any lists?
I haven't made any, but the lists that are on there is actually pretty good. It's not just, I don't remember there was a bunch of just random ass list of nothing that connects, just random things. There's 10 of something. But do people do get, the top 10 shows or how they feel about it? They have trying to think of the theories. Like there was a list about top 10 theories about Dark Souls 3, and it took me about an hour to read, but it was a worthwhile read of it all.
Okay. I'm gonna download it right now. I'll check it out later. See how we might be able to pull some of these top 10 lists into later shows. Oh darn diggity. Not this again. All right, well, I have to do that later. So oh man. Anyway, I don't know. It's up there. We'll oh, and also things that need to stop. I'm thinking that's the theme for this show. Is things that need to stop. Nintendo is thinking about making more movies.
I'm gonna be honest, go ahead and say that. I actually enjoyed the Mario movie. Real talk.
In retrospect, or I mean, of course, you and I were at an age where we were young and didn't really like that was probably not necessary. Our mindset at that time was able to process Power Rangers and be like,
it's on my computer.
Okay.
And I enjoy it. It gives me that good nostalgia feeling, I guess, like Mortal Kombat. There's a good Mortal Kombat. You got Mortal Kombat Part 2 Annihilation.
Oh God.
That's another thing that should have stopped.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know. This screenshot is terrible though. Like that is, I don't know what that is. Look at John Leguizamo. Look how young he is in this freaking movie. What is he, like 19?
I thought he's that young. He's probably like 20 something maybe.
Man, gosh.
22.
Man, that is crazy. I don't know. Oh God, not this scene. I know what scene that is. They look so ridiculous. Got freaking jump jet boots on. Goodness gracious. Ooh, nah, no Samsung Pay. So yeah, that's yeah. But never forget. People hate this movie though. Like it's universally hated. So I don't know. Have they made what other, like, was this the only movie that they made and then they were like, all right, after the feedback, they were like, yeah, we're not doing that again?
I don't know if there are any other movies Nintendo producing. Just, I know it's going off topic, still, just dealing with video games and movies. Have you seen the trailer for Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I have. And a lot of people are saying it looks poised to be the best video game live action movie ever.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. I was excited.
I say it looks great, but I also am I the only person that loved Prince of Persia?
No, I was just to bring it up. I was like, I don't know why people give Prince of Persia so much crap. Maybe they was like they're whitewashing actors since they had JGL. Was it JGL? No, it wasn't Jordan Gorsuch-Levitt who played him. I'm trying to think who played main character. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
It was like they're whitewashing characters. Screw that. That movie was fantastic. You want to talk about a bad movie? Talk about Blood Rain.
Oh God.
I'm not talking. First one may get a pass in my book. I'm talking about that second and third one. That third was with cowboys. What the?
I know. I was like, what happened to the series that I love? What is going on? Oh my God. Oh God. Wait. I don't know how that happened. All right. But yeah, no, like, first of all, no, the first one, it was awful. It was completely awful. There's no need to make excuses for that one. It was just as awful. Well, not just as awful. It was. If you're basing it off of 2 and 3, yes, it gets a pass. But as a standalone, it was bad. I was like, I don't understand any of this because it makes no sense to the movie. Tell me this is not based off of a comic book, maybe? Is Blood Rain based off of a comic book as well?
A video game.
It's just a video game.
As far as I know, I hope it's not based off a comic book.
It probably spun into one. Oh, it's 2 words. No wonder. What are you doing? Why aren't you clicky? Why is this thing being all slow right now? I probably got too many tabs open. You kidding me? Okay, let's just do this.
Yeah, video game series.
Okay. I had it right the first time.
Inspired films and comic books, but it was started out as just a video game.
Okay.
And people talk about every video game movie is always bad. Not true. I mean, I like Resident Evil, with Alice in there. I was like, who is this character? And I have not seen her in the game. So who is she?
The Resident Evil movies are good. I think they probably got. I don't know what it is people hate about those. Probably, I do know what people hate about those. It's that they're not survival horror. Like, it's the same thing that people hate about 5 and 6. Is that it's action. It's not survival horror. It's not a horror film, and that's what people want when they think of Resident Evil. They want to be spooked out of their freaking mind, and I can understand that. In some way, actually, now that I think about it, I think the movies might have inspired the game as it progressed in these recent years. Because, like I said, it's action. It's not survival horror, and that's what everybody hates the newer games for being. Is not true to what the game's roots is. In the same way that people didn't like Dead Space 3 because it was action and not survival horror.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dead Space 1 and 2, I could not play with the lights off. I wouldn't. It needed to be daytime. I'm not talking about, like 4:30, 6:30 type where it's kind of getting dark. I want it to be about like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. is the only time I could play it, where the sun is definitely out.
By the way, who is EGM? They no longer exist as far as I can tell. That's a review. I couldn't put it down. That's a quote on the PC cover of Blood Rain, the original. By the way, I was such a total perv in this game. I think this game is what got me into latex. In retrospect, I remember there was like cheat codes to give her like bigger boobs and stuff. Like, oh my gosh. Why gaming? Why?
Just curious. Did you know that there was a Blood Rain movie that took place during World War II, and her target was Adolf Hitler? And they wanted to make him kind of like a vampire, so he'd be immortal.
Oh my!
I'm not shitting you. If you go read the plot, that is the plot.
Oh my god! I think I'm looking at this now, and I think Blood Rain actually was part of the inspiration for what's the name from Underworld.
Yeah. Some Underworld was good.
Yeah, I mean, she's got kind of like the same short hair, somewhat BDSM-ish look, tight leather, all that good stuff. Which that series kind of should have ended after the first one or the second one. I don't think the third one was as great. That whole hybrid thing. I don't understand this. I've gotten to the point of hybrids and freaking Vampire Diaries, and I'm trying to understand what is the world's obsession with these two things merging more so than the war that needs to be going on between them. Vampires and werewolves should never mix, and werewolves are better than vampires anyway. So that's my standpoint.
Aren't both of them like not good silver vampires and werewolves?
No, I think silver is a werewolf thing.
Yeah, I know. No vampires. If they get stabbed with it, I thought it was like hey, they got stabbed with silver, so that's bad. But if not, then yeah, I would just carry around me. I wouldn't even want to stab a werewolf. I just have a pair of silver made gloves. Just want to. I'd literally fight it like I was a boxer or something.
You are stupid.
Yeah. Like I wish that was an option in Skyrim where I could just instead of using a silver sword, I would have gloves that is laced completely over the top of it with silver and just punch to death. Because even touching them with it burns them.
Right. Yeah, and I think there might be see, that's the thing when you get into like fantasy and stuff like this, where like people put their own spins on it. There is no 100% pure like vampire or werewolf canon. That's just like if you make something that deals with werewolves or vampires, it has to follow these certain guidelines. People will have the ability to twist it and turn it as much as they want, including putting sprinkles all over the vampires' faces. That's also something that should have ended before it ever started. Okay.
Wait. Did you know how it became to be that it was a fanfic of Harry Potter? That is hysterical. And then 50 Shades of Grey was a fanfic of Twilight. It's just mind-boggling.
In other words, keep your fan fiction to yourself. We don't want to see it. Keep it on your forums with your other nerdy friends that are into that particular whatever you're into. And
not trying to get off topic here, but talk about fanfics real quick. Have you heard of the fanfic with the I'm trying to think. You've seen SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Flying Dutchman. There's a fanfic with the Flying Dutchman and SpongeBob.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that character, but okay.
If you have time, go read that fanfic.
I'd rather not.
You should.
Mm-hmm. No, actually, speaking of fan fiction, my buddy sent me a link to a movie about Hitler where he came back from being frozen in time and was trying to solve world social disorders or some crap. Funny story, this movie about Hitler coming back from the dead and like learning about the world or whatever the hell it was he was doing actually was like a #1 hit movie in Germany.
Did Hitler become a good guy?
I guess. I'm guessing it did very well in Germany though, of all the places. So I don't know what that says about Germany or about or this movie, but my buddy watched it. He sent me the link. He said it's pretty good. It is on Netflix. I will find that link actually, and I'll post that. And I forget what the name of it was. It was, oh God, who knows? Oh man. So let's DJ. What is going on with this adult Pokemon game thing? Tell me why. Tell me why I should care about this. Because I'd rather you tell me why I should care about this than me read it. Because
it's not completely done yet, but you can download it. Like I guess you could call it a beta of it and play it. And the story-wise, which starts off weird, is that you're in our world, you're transported to third world, and what we call demons are actually Pokemon. I shit you not on that part.
Wait, say that again?
Concept, like, death and self-loathing and suicide and stuff like that. Like your Pokemon can actually die. Like not when they get painted, you can take them to the Poke Center. They can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. It can be happening like that. Some can actually just flat out die. People can die. It is tailored for the adult mind, I guess, or adult themed world. Like the difference between teenage book, like like a kid's book and a young adult book. And don't get me wrong, they're still like the same thing. It's just the concept of it and how people speak is different. See, in Europe, people call here they go by.
Okay.
It's still in development, but you can actually download and just play some of it. I played about an hour of it. It's pretty good. It has some horror elements, adult dialogue, some swearing, per se.
I guess I'll look. Is this is like what PC?
Or only play. Yeah, I'm playing it on my laptop.
Okay. I don't know. There's a link to it. Kotaku ran this. Kotaku ran this article. So, we'll also post link to that. And I don't know.
Yeah. Have you heard about? I think her name is pronounced Blake Lively, where she was slammed for saying LA face with an Oakland booty, basically quoting I'm trying to think what that dude's name is. I cannot lie. I'm trying to think what his what's his name? Baby Got Back is a song she was quoting basically, but I don't know why people flipped off about this woman saying she had an LA face with an Oakland booty. Like, who goes off on that type of tangent?
You know who goes off on a tangent? Freaking Azalea Banks. That's who. Yeah. But that's a whole other beast. That's a whole nother beast there. That woman's got major issues and she needs to be set down and shut down. And so I guess where we'll end today, we'll end on this nice little article, 10 things in tech you need to know today. Why are we going to end on this? Because it's educational and informative, sucker. So sit back and learn. You're going to learn. You're going to learn today. What?
Yeah, as for nothing educational.
You're going to learn today. Number one, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will meet with prominent conservatives over trending news controversy. I don't even know what that means. I honestly don't. I don't know why I should care about that particular one. But that's number one. He's going to meet with prominent conservatives about trending news. So keep your eyes tuned to the news. There's nothing happening in the news ever, so don't pay attention. Amazon's reportedly preparing to launch many new brands of food onto its online store. So if you order from, Amazon Fresh, I believe it's called, if they have that service in your city, there's new foods are going to be available. Hey, get at it. Are they available here? Do you know?
That I do not know.
They probably aren't. I don't think Oklahoma's big enough for that yet. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett is getting in the bidding war for Yahoo. Why? I don't know. Why is anybody even trying to buy Yahoo? Let it die. It's something else that should have ended a long time ago. It should have been dead. It should have been dead. Google killed it. Google put a nail in its coffin and rubbed its nuts all on its face and yelled teabag and called it.
I don't know. I get the same feeling of using Yahoo the same way I use Internet Explorer. Like, just why do you exist?
I don't remember the last time I used Yahoo. I think it was an accident. I think I accidentally Googled Yahoo and somehow and ended up using it.
I can remember the last time I used Internet Explorer, and that was using it to find my Chrome download so I can use Google Chrome.
Precisely. All right. Hedge fund billionaire David Tepper dumped his massive Apple investment. Now that's big news. Apple reportedly, or not reportedly, recently reported a loss, a major loss. Its biggest loss in, what was it, 13 years in its last quarter, which has some people shook up, but it's, I don't know, like when they go off on this about, oh, like, I understand the need to increase revenue every year. If you're still being profitable, why do you have to cry about like not being as profitable as the year before? Maybe it's not the products they're putting out. Maybe it's the crappy economy where people don't have any money to spend money on new products. Some people just don't have the money to go out and buy a new phone every freaking year. So why would they? If you or maybe your products are working so well that they don't need to be replaced just because you put out a new somewhat speedier processor in this year's model. Like, so you can take what you want with that, but hey, dude removed his investment. 1.26 million shares, valued at 1.33 million. $133 million, almost 100 times their worth. Actually, more than 100 times their worth in shares. If you're going to invest, Apple's a good company to invest in. I guarantee you that. But you better get on it because I don't know. They might be on a decline soon. We'll see. But depends on how future quarters go for them. A Berlin investor was warned that a Brexit will starve UK tech startups of money. EU money. I'm assuming that's England. I don't even know what. EU Ventures explain why Brexit will mean that it is unable to invest in the UK. Who cares? Google could be fined within the next month following the EU's antitrust investigation. Google being fined means absolutely nothing. It's Google. 2.3 billion. I think they could take. It is, but it's like, they could invest that amount of money into a new startup tomorrow if they felt like it, and it could probably bust and they'd still be okay. What is Google valued at?
I have no idea.
Google.
But still, losing $2.3 billion is something not to just, shake your head at.
As of Monday, Apple is worth $598 billion, significantly more than Google's $364.99, essentially $365 billion. So Google could stand to lose $2.3 billion, and that wouldn't even be a tenth of their what their worth is.
If I personally had, let's say, Apple money, $600 billion, and someone was coming after me for $6 billion, I must still have a goddamn problem.
You're right. I mean, hey, there's no right or wrong way to look at it. It's personal opinion. Either A, you like, I don't need that chump change, or B, you like, nigga, I need my quarters because I'm greedy.
I work hard for that money. They can come after me. They come after me for $600 million, and and I'm gonna still have a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
Now, if it was something simple like, it ain't simple, but let's say I did have that money and it was like 100 million fine, I look at my accountant and say, pay that shit off. Let's get rid of it. He come to me, they raise it up to 300 million. All right, we fight this. We break them down.
I probably should have proofread these before. This is not really tech news. This is dumb news. Why am I doing this? Anyway, let's run through the rest of these. Sheryl Sandberg spoke about her husband's death in public for the first time in an emotional speech. Okay. Chinese on-demand taxi app, Didi Chuxing. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Because they don't pronounce X's like that. Didi Chuxing has denied reports that it plans for a U.S. IPO next year. So Uber and Lyft are still going to be a primary mode of travel, unless you're in Austin, in which Uber and Lyft are no longer there at the moment. I feel sorry for my guys at Rooster Teeth, but yeah, they got to find other ways to get around now. Somebody was on their podcast the other day talking about how they had to walk from their house downtown to get to wherever they needed to be the other day because they couldn't get an Uber or a Lyft. So that sucks.
Why did they have to leave though? Was it Texas?
It was Austin.
I know it was Austin. I'm talking about, was it Texas, like Taxes?
Oh no. It was I'm unsure now because I think I heard it two different ways, but I'm not sure. It was argument over who was going to regulate their screening processes for candidates.
Yeah, the background checks. I remember now. Yep.
Yeah. I think somebody said that actually that both Uber and Lyft wanted the government to regulate it, but I thought it was the other way around.
Uber and Lyft wanted to regulate themselves.
Right, that's what I thought. So I don't know. Somebody kind of twisted up that story a little bit.
Yeah, I remember now.
But yeah, all right. So they announced a $1 billion investment from Apple last week. That's pretty cool. Apple's just throwing away money. Look at him, $500 billion. Oh, you over there? You want to start up some stuff? Here, come on over to America. We'll give you $1 billion because we can do that. Freaking Apple. Deliveroo's UK boss says the platform will be rolled out to 30 to 40 more UK towns and cities at the end of 2016. It's already in 38 UK cities. I don't know what Deliveroo is.
What is the Deliveroo?
I'm assuming it's like Postmates, maybe. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's just like Postmates. Hold on.
Is it like a hoverboard or like one of them things old people need to use?
No. I'm thinking it's a service where you get people to bring you stuff because you're too lazy to leave your house. Deliveroo, premium restaurant takeaway. Yeah.
Okay.
Order food delivery online. So yeah, it's essentially what it is. Same as Postmates. So yeah, what's dumb about this article, like essentially, is it's like 10 things you need to know, but it gives you no reason why because it explains nothing. Google Chrome is going to use HTML5 by default by the end of this year, which is actually something else we kind of had covered. We didn't really get to, but yeah, Google plans to start blocking Flash on all but a handful of top sites, which one is probably Pornhub. I don't know why you would block Flash. Anyway, the point is they're pulling Flash from not just mobile, but from desktop, Chrome, which is crazy given the fact that Android was one of the big the people that push mobile Flash the hardest when freaking Apple was like, no, that's stupid. It's a battery hog. You don't want that on your mobile device. This is why we're not going to use it. Get over it. And that move essentially killed Flash on mobile devices altogether. But now that they're moving away from using it on even Chrome on the desktop, that's That's crazy. I mean, where does that leave Flash? Like, does this mean Adobe Flash goes away now? I mean, otherwise, all they have, I mean, okay, I would say otherwise all they have left is Internet Explorer, but that's not true. There is
no one uses Internet Explorer.
exactly. So I'm like, what? But no, I mean, they still have, I guess, Firefox and Opera and other smaller third-party browsers.
All right, let's be real. Besides which you're kind of forced to use, some Apple people are, you have Google Chrome, you have Firefox. Anything else is irrelevant. I'm not trying to be mean about it. It is irrelevant.
Yeah.
They have users, but no amount of the users as those three I just named.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure Apple still uses Flash on Safari, so I guess it's not going from Safari. But if they announce it, which I don't know, I don't think they would, but why wouldn't you? It's so strange. It's so strange. So now all these different websites are going to have coding for HTML just to benefit Chrome. Like, that's weird. So
well, most sites now do build from HTML.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I guess you won't be seeing Flash on Chrome anymore. If you want Flash, I guess you'll have to go to Internet Explorer, and that also should have ended a long time ago. And that being said, we're at the end of our show, which probably should also ended a long time ago. Probably should have never made it this far in the episode, not to mention to this many episodes. So we're long overdue for a cut, but we're still coming back. So don't think we're done. Nah, sucker. We gonna fight. We gonna fight for our right to party.
Stop.
Panda?
Stop.
Panda?
Say your stuff about 8. Go.
Panda. Okay. I want that song. I want it. Oh my God, I love that song. Go check out Carmen on YouTube or on iTunes. Like I said again, Karmin. Girl's an awesome singer. She does many different covers. She's got what I believe is her own work as well. Beautiful voice, amazing singer, amazing vocal performer. Shout out again, as always, to Flipboard for allowing us to bring you a format to curate the news in which we cover. Shout out to List for being an awesome app for lists. Shout out to Google Chrome for being a shining apple in the light of internet browsers. Shout out to Mario for being old. Shout out to EA for screwing over a million gamers. I'm done. Thank you for tuning in. If you are at all interested in playing in local gaming tournaments and you are in the Oklahoma area, again, my shameless plug, go to hxcgaming.com. Check us out. Follow, like, add, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/hxcgaming, Twitter at hxcgaming, Instagram at hxcgaming. You know the spiel. Don't forget, we got our Summer Madness tournament coming up June 4th. We will have Mortal Kombat XL, Street Fighter 5, Guilty Gear, XRD, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Smash Brawl, Smash for the Wii U. There's one more, Killer Instinct. So if you're interested in playing any of those games, definitely give a look into that. We will be bringing it to you live via Twitch with our partner Panda X Gaming. It'll be an amazing time. Our Summer's Madness tournament last year was bonkers. This year we're giving away over $3,000 in bonus pot cash. So definitely check us out. HXE Gaming once again. Check out your boy DJ at dj.dj.com. That's not a real website. It probably is.
Arrogance will have an actual website, I'm hoping, by at least the end of this week or before the next podcast next week.
Yes, so be on the lookout for arrogance.com. Again, that is AEROGENTS. You know what it means. It means we stay above the cut, but we also don't give a damn. We reckless. We do what we want. That's how this party goes. Again, that's your boy DJ. I'm your boy Coffee Man, or I'm your man, Coffee Man. But I don't like coffee, man. And also I want to give a big shout out to Jay-Z and his streaming service Tidal. That should have ended a long time ago. Thank you, Jay-Z, for pulling all the Blueprint albums off of iTunes streaming. I really appreciate that. I'm not buying your stupid Tidal service. Keep it to yourself. That being said, let's fly into the sunset. God bless you all. Peace out. See you next week.